Okay, it's a lot to do, so let's get it done. I had a good think about how I want to do this, and I've got to stick to my original core concept as much as possible, which was first person. So I'm gonna make a first person game, and then that's a good idea or not. I've just got to make sure there's no mirrors. I'm gonna need a full body character. Yeah, I just don't know. Because you can't just have the arms. I suppose you could. I don't think I'll do many cutscenes. Oh, I need cutscenes to get the story across though, because I mean, that's. Fuck. So there's so much that I have to do, it's so difficult to line it all up. I think I should start on a gun. Yeah, this is one thing I'm gonna have to get right, because
if she barely has like 2.
yeah. Oh, this guy. I mean, what a fucking loser. But damn, did I not feel sorry for him? Oh, leave me alone! There it is. I don't want sub D modeled guns, guys. No ways, my man. Hard surface models.
We don't have any more holes over here, nor on this side. So apply the array modifier. Then select everything in edit mode, shift W to merge vertices by distance, that's my shortcut, you might have something different. And now we can extrude this all the way to the end here, and this all the way to the end here. Now it looks like we kind of fucked up, we're gonna have to manually fill all this stuff at the end here. Now once we're finished making the railing, we're gonna use some of this geometry to make this metal plate on the side of the cylinder that we made earlier. So I'm just going to select this entire row of edges.
There's no ways you can learn this from a tutorial.
Push it down to
You
this
just
line.
got to
You can see
do
a
it
little gradient.
until
I'm
you
going to
know
place
what
it
you're
on the
doing.
middle of that gradient. Then I'll extrude it down again and place it on the middle of the next gradient. And then I can take it all the way down to the top of the lower receiver that we were making earlier. Now I'm going to add a loop cut and push it all the way to the top here. And I'm doing that because I want to be able to push all of this out a little bit, and I want to have a little tiny step here. This way this entire surface is going to align better with this part over here. And now I'm also going to push this surface out. There's a little cut down here which exposes the cylinder. The purpose of this cut is so that we can also connect perfectly on this lower part, because if you notice, this edge is connected to the upper receiver here, but it's not connected on this part. There's a bit of a gap. So we're going to cut this shit out and make it connect a little bit better. So we just need a loop cut over here. I'll delete these faces, and now I can slide this edge loop over here down a little bit. I can push this vertex back, and this is going to give me like 1/4 of an octagon, which we're going to be able to subdivide, and it's going to look pretty perfect. Before we subdivide, we're still going to have to add some thickness to this shape. So I'll take some of the edges here and I'll push them backwards like this, and that way I'll be able to start connecting them to the rest of this object. And now once we've filled in this entire shape, now we can subdivide it, and then we can start adding some more supporting loops and some more bevels or whatever we're going to need. And once everything is filled, and once we added all the bevels and the supporting loops and all this formality shit, let's duplicate this, mirror it to the other side across the 3D cursor, remove the doubles, invert to normals, And now we have the upper piece with the railing, this metal plate on the side, and all this other stuff. Now I have to make a hole here in which I'm going to fit this little thing, whatever this is. And this should be pretty simple. I just have to inset some faces over here. And then while my 3D cursor is down here, I'll select these faces again, extrude them and scale them to 0 on the x-axis. Now I can also slide these edges back and forth or up and down a little bit. I can even use my 3D cursor to push these a bit further in this direction. And once we subdivide this, this is exactly what we were trying to make. You know, when you're finished shooting at somebody, you gotta take out the magazine, you put in the new one, and since you fired all your bullets, you have to get another magazine into the chamber. And to get a bullet from the magazine into the chamber, you have to pull that shit in the back. Now the AK's got it on the side, you do it like this, pistol's got it from the top. But these types of gun, this is based on like an AR-15 or M4, I don't know what branch of weapons this is, I don't know what the fuck you call this, is called an MK1. You pull this thing with your 2 fingers on the back top of the gun, right above the buttstock. Now I tried pretty hard to get a reference for exactly what this piece looks like. And when I say I try hard, I mean I searched for about 3 minutes and then I gave up because I don't really give a shit. But I couldn't find a good picture of this, so I'm just gonna imagine something which I think would make sense to put here. But anyway, I cut out this hole over here. I just deleted some geometry, bridged some edge loops, pretty simple stuff. So let's use P to separate these into new objects.
Pretty simple stuff.
Then I'll take an edge loop from the front and I'll bring it over here to the back. And I'll use my grid fill tool to fill that. Then I'll connect the left side to the right side. Then we're going to extrude this once and make it just a little bit wider like this.
Why does that work?
We're going to extrude it one more time. And the second
That
time we extrude
gridful.
it, we're going to take the side faces from this extrusion. We're going to scale them up on the x-axis to push them apart. Now the idea here is that we're supposed to have a bit of a curve here. This is supposed to be like a quarter of a circle. So we might have to do some adjustments. And later when we subdivide this, this is going to look very nice. We're going to bring this all the way to the end based on our reference image in the background. Also grid fill back here. And now we can extrude this one more time to make sure it's long enough for this purpose. Now I really have no idea how wide this is actually supposed to be, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and do whatever I think makes sense. And then this shape also has some silly little details, like maybe a cutout on this corner over here. I'm going to tear this vertex as well as this vertex. I'll place my 3D cursor in between these 2 vertices, and then I'll scale this to -1 on these 2 axes. Now I can just fill this, and after I bevel this with subdivision surface, it's gonna look very nice. Now when we subdivide this, it looks a little bit too thin, it looks a little bit stupid, so let's just make it a little bit thicker. Give me an extra loop cut over here, then select everything in the front, Control+, and just pull this backwards a little bit more, and now we're gonna add some extra thickness to this, and it's gonna start to look very nice. Now we're going to bevel all of the 90-degree edges.
So jealous,
We can just join
so
this to
good.
the correct topology here, so we got only 12, and we should be good to go. I think it's gonna be a good idea to get back here later and use a normal map to add some kind of knurling or something so you have a bit of a better grip when you hold this. The last thing you need is you're reloading, you're about to pull this and it just slips out of your fingers. And that split second that you just missed on your reload time gets you shot in the head. Now let's move over here to the back and make the buttstock. And this should be pretty straightforward. We're just gonna have to duplicate this surface from the back of the receiver here. We're gonna separate that to a new object. And we just have to extrude that a little bit. Apply the mirror modifier, and I'm gonna go with Alt-S to make this a little bit thicker because it looks like it's supposed to be a bit thicker than the rest of this stuff. You already got 500,000 edges on this shit, isn't that crazy? How many do you think we're gonna have by the end of this? It's gonna be over 1 million for sure. Now again, I can't really see what the next layer is, so I'm just gonna kind of imagine something. In my imagination,
But you see, this is
I'll
good
take this
modeling, but
surface
it's
over
not
here.
necessarily good modeling for a game where you want things to run well. See? I'll tell you, it's a mammoth task to fucking model a weapon. I did this gun. I mean, it's okay. It's quite bad actually. I didn't finish the scope. Damn, man. Let's do this. Just need some inspiration. I really like the look of some of these guns. They look really cool. And then I can extend where I need to. And I mean, it's basic shapes. Looks at least like basic shapes. And I can do what works for me and what I think is cool and adjust as I go. I mean, that's not the easiest shape in the world to get right. I'm pacing this, so I can't do the same thing, but I need to just have the reference close by. So many different ways you can do this. Actually, almost looks like, I mean, if you cut off that, that's a pistol. See, I like these. I need my glasses. Where are my glasses? Let's get a couple. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is model that barrel. No, I need to model the centerpiece. Okay. Now I'm not too worried about scale. I know it's probably not going to be to scale, but far base chance. Let's just do this in centimeters. It's raining quite heavy outside. It's always so difficult in the beginning. Gun modeling is just, well, modeling in general is such a schlep. I'm going to leave that there. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Let me grab my glasses because this is ridiculous. Fucking idiot, that's crazy. much better. See, and I can do all those things by myself by doing stuff like this. Wait, what the fuck? The fuck? Why are you not in line, boy? Okay. Make this vertex. A little bit. For now, I feel like this is not necessary. No, that one was necessary. That one was necessary. I do like the spacing for these, so I'm going to keep that. There'll obviously be different size slightly, but that's okay. And you just extrude. Another thing I can do quickly is grab this, bring it down to there. Shift D, up, P, selection. Why doesn't it show? Not ready to deal with that yet. still want my way with this design, so I'm gonna make it work. Mm-hmm. How do we insert? Tweak outsert. No. Boundary. Okay. I've got to be careful in this part. I can't fuck any geometry up. I do think that will look cool, and I think if we grab this, bring it in, and scale it on the y-axis, it should look pretty cool. Maybe grab all of this. Let's just move things slightly. And these two. I mean, if when it's blocked out, it looks cool. It should look pretty cool in game as well, as long as it's got some cool shapes to it. And geometry is different for the weapons. I mean, I'm happy. I think we're at a point where we can start subdividing, unless we do the handle now, which is. Oh, it's on a face like this, right? Hmm. Okay, you ready for the subdivide? Let's see how much it breaks this thing. Subdivision. Let's do it with 3. I mean, it's not broken. We can just go in here now and clean up what we want cleaned up. Okay, relax, please. Let's first see how much of this we can. If this works, this will be the biggest success of the night by far. Well, of since we've been streaming, really. I love to say it, but it's working. Ooh, I like that shape. I don't necessarily like this though. It's good that it's coming through, but let me just relieve it to there. And then maybe try and give this. See how that looks. This looks like soft molded metal. And this one, and this one. I'll first grab this one, I suppose. Just relax it. Relax it. Oh wow, I like the look of everything. I like the split down the middle even though it's not intentional. Yeah, so that's part of the problems. I need to do it in components so that it makes sense and that what I do to one doesn't fuck up the other. As long as where they meet is flush or they're inside of each other, it actually doesn't matter. But it'll make the modeling process a lot easier to do it in bits like that. I like what we have here. I'm very fond of that being a grip of a weapon. Remember, there's still a whole handle that needs to come out the back here. And a handle's pretty easy. I mean, a handle's a square. So what I can do is grab this. We bring it in line to about there. So we can still have good range mesh, not a plane. Let's delete that. Let's grab a cube. Scale it all the way down. Rotate it. Is it a bit weird what I'm doing? That's fine. It's gonna work. Okay, let's do this locally. That's pretty much, I mean, if you can do that, you can make a handle. That's the handle blocked out completely. What you can do if you want, put a line down the middle of the handle, back to midway. Let's grab all of these vertices, delete these ones. What you're going to do with this, and it'll make so much sense as soon as I do it, you're going to scale it on the x-axis. And it's just going to give it that bite edge. Oh, you can do the same thing at the front to make a handle. Okay, scale it down. There you go. Handle, easy peasy. Just like I've got a gun handle. That was actually really easy. What the fuck? What the fuck? No, 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 no. No, not material, shitheads. Let's just save this before we shoot ourselves in the foot. Desktop. Icebox, starter rifle, blender. We're gonna call this one. What are we gonna call our gun brand? I had my first real subscriber to the dev channel, and I think his name was Eric. Okay, let it install now. So I'm gonna call it Eric Arms as a tribute to the first real one, Eric Arms. A recar. Eric Arm. Recarm. I said install now. What was his name? Let me go find out. I don't know. You know? Eric Hansen. Man. That's the guy from fucking, that's Chris Hansen. My bad. Okay, Eric Hansen. Hansen? Hansen Arms? Yeah. Han and Sons. Hansons. And if he's watching now, thanks for being a real one, man. This is officially the name of the weapons in Blender. I mean, in my game. All the weapons will be engraved with Han and Sons, I mean. Which we've also got to design a logo for, which we'll eventually do. Let's get this saved so that we're safe. And then here, this little piece here, you can see this just looks odd. So if we scale it on the X really small, that'll look nice. We can do the same thing here if we do this quickly. We just extrude this out slightly and scale that on the X-axis. Some weapons have that. And then the magazine, it's like a lip on the bottom there, so we just created that to look nice. Okay, cool. I think that's about everything. Let's make sure it's nice and in line here. Okay, add modifier. Let's run that subdivision surface with okay, so we want to be more divine towards the back. definitely towards the bottom. It needs to be almost that. This can definitely be, this needs to be out, this needs to be up. But here we need to grab from here to the last one and control grab Y, pull that out quite a bit. It's a nice rounded back. The front here, I think we can do this. And it's real close here. And bring another one real close here. Just to give it some shape. And grab this and scan it on the X. Oh! Grab these three. Maybe I should do that with these. This side. Scale X, we bring them in quite a bit. Scale X, bring those out quite a bit. Give it a bit of a bulge there on the handle. Yeah, I think I like that as a handle. It looks super clean, shade smooth. Look at that. That with the right material on. Oh, it's going to look heavenly. No, I'm very excited now. I'm very excited about the guns now because I can make guns like this. I don't need references. I'll just mold. I mean, this doesn't look the greatest, but I can work on it. The idea is there now. I don't mind that slope. This is going to extend out even more. So if we just do this, we can really extrude this out a whole bunch. And just extrude out one more to make it sharp at the end there. There we go. There's some stuff here at the top that I wish was a little bit cleaner. I don't necessarily think that looks better. It looks awkward in that corner. Here's what I think it is. It's one over. Yeah, it's this one. It's fine. And this one. got a good starting shape. So what I'm going to do, I know it's a little bit crazy, but it's not actually that crazy in Blender to do something like this. And that is just grab all of this and delete it. I'm going to grab this. And bring it all the way to the back here. Then we're going to mark out our positions. And once at this point, we've got a nice, what will be a nice looking piece of metal. There we go. I don't want to overlay necessarily. I think this as a starting base. I don't actually want the trigger guard to come out of here. Just only reason it's not working now is because it's tightening from that side, but it's not tightening from this side. Once you tighten it from that side and from the bottom, now it's tight. It almost looks machined in there. Can maybe stop that pulling by doing that. No. I suppose we can contain it, but I mean, what's the point of that? That's all I really did there was bevel and emboss. Yeah, there we go. Nice and sharp too, just out like that. And we can always play with other geometry. Taking this and rotating it. See if this works. Based on the 3D cursor, let's rotate you along the y-axis. Yes. That actually worked. Inset on this face. Can we sharpen up this? Can we sharpen up across here? We can. Just interesting to see, I suppose. Mesh symmetries. Mesh symmetries. Plus X to minus Y. This part's a bit weird. I feel like we got somewhere. Or at least figuring out a way to model our own. Ended in a mess. Model our own guns though. We've still got our base here to come back to. Which you can still use with this handle. Like I did say I would. I'll just put that handle over that piece of the gun. Believe it or not, I know that didn't look like much, but I actually learned quite a bit in figuring out if I can do this every day and find out how tweaking these little vertices on this gun and how I can add more diversity to the metal texture, which I can also do later with some engravings and stuff. But for now, I just want to learn how my movement actually affects the geometry under subdivision. These basic movements, the basic altering of certain things. Because jumping in a tutorial that is that complicated, I mean, you can copy it and get it right, but you're just copying it. So I'd rather come back to basics a bit, try and model out. I'm going to model out this gun, it will work. And then we'll texture it and it will look great, I promise. And that will be our main gun. This that we created ourselves, the Han & Sons Arms. That's the company that makes the gun. We'll name the gun stuff, but Han & Sons is the one for this company. It would be cool if we started with a smaller, maybe like pistol or something that you shot the rats with, and then you put on full attachments onto this. But we will see. We will see the next one. Oh. I'm gonna try, obviously, and let's take a quick look. Try and increase. Oh, you see, there's, I mean, pretty much a basic barrel. We can do something real basic like that. And then you just slot a tube down it. Yeah. That gets a bit more complicated, and so do sights. But I think I can do sights. Well, let's hope. We can make some cool silences as well, probably. And that can maybe be done with normal maps. Maybe not this piece, that's a bit too extreme. Okay, Dex. It is now the bedtime. Well, get ready for bedtime. I mean, if you look at the design there, it's relatively basic. If you give enough variety within the main frame, because this is easy. Cylinders here at the back are relatively easy. Scope will be difficult, but nothing crazy. It's all cylindrical. And then obviously what it mounts with as well. But I'll do a cheat for the mounting arm and just try and make it look really metal and have lots of bolts and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Oh shit. Tired, shit, man. Yeah, I might go off and play some Forza now, or just get some me time. I've been working. I think we're making slow and steady progress since day 15 of making. This game is going to hopefully be a full-fledged game that's, worth its salt. But that's going to take a couple of years. So I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm just taking it as it goes to truly show people what it's like as a solo person developing a game. It's my whole mission for this stream. So if there's anyone watching, I'm not really checking my YouTube stats. I see there's like 10 views on some of the streams. But if there's anyone watching, I just want to say thank you. I think that's really cool. And hopefully you get something out of this. Cool. See you next time. Well, tomorrow.